Today, we uncover the remarkable transformation of India's economy, making it the world's fastest growing. With over 1 billion people, India has become a powerhouse of economic potential, attracting global attention and investment. From humble beginnings to a thriving economy, India's growth trajectory has been nothing short of awe-inspiring. We'll delve into the factors that have fueled India's economic boom, including its young and dynamic workforce, technological advancements, and booming sectors such as IT, manufacturing, and services. But it's not all sunshine and roses. We also explore the challenges and risks that India faces on its path to sustained economic growth. Join us as we unpack the truth behind India's economic success, separating myth from reality and examining the impact on people. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating insights. Over the past decade, India has emerged as the fastest growing economy in the world, with an impressive average gross domestic product growth rate of 5.5%. This has positioned India as a global economic powerhouse, and its growth trajectory shows no signs of slowing down. The numbers speak for themselves. India's current GDP of $3.5 trillion is projected to more than double, reaching a staggering $7.5 trillion by 2031. This incredible growth is not limited to just GDP, as India's share of global exports is also expected to double during this period. The Bombay Stock Exchange, one of the oldest stock exchanges in Asia, is projected to achieve 11% annual growth and reach a market capitalization of $10 trillion in the coming decade. These numbers are nothing short of awe-inspiring and highlight the immense potential of India's economy on the global stage. While countries like the United States, Europe, and China are facing bleaker economic projections for 2023, India's economic outlook remains robust. According to a recent survey by the Indian Central Bank, India's GDP is expected to grow at 6% in the fiscal year ending March 31, 2024. Albeit slightly lower to the projected 6.8% growth for the current fiscal year. This indicates that India's economy is not only growing rapidly but also displaying resilience in the face of global economic challenges. The International Monetary Fund (MIF) has also forecasted a bright future for India, with a projected GDP growth rate of 6.1% this year and 6.8% next year, placing it among the fastest-growing economies in the world. Many international commentators have even gone so far as to declare the arrival of an Indian decade or even an Indian century, showcasing the widespread optimism surrounding India's economic potential. Now, what factors are responsible for India's progress? Well, these are not so far-fetched. From global offshoring to digitalization and energy transition, India is capitalizing on various opportunities to accelerate its economic growth and emerge as a global economic powerhouse. One of the significant drivers of India's economic growth is the global offshoring trend. As more and more companies from developed countries are outsourcing their business processes to countries like India, it has resulted in a booming service sector. Indian companies have been providing cost-effective and high-quality services in fields like information technology, customer service, finance, and more, which has attracted substantial foreign investment and contributed to the country's economic growth. Moreover, digitalization has been playing a pivotal role in India's economic growth story. The rapid adoption of digital technologies in the internet has transformed various sectors of the economy, including e-commerce, financial services, and telecommunications. The rise of digital platforms and digital payment systems has unleashed new business opportunities, improving productivity and created millions of jobs, especially in the technology sector, further fueling India's economic growth. Another critical factor contributing to India's economic growth is the energy transition. With increasing concerns about environmental sustainability and climate change, India has been proactively investing in renewable energy sources like solar and wind power. The focus on renewable energy not only helps India reduce its carbon footprint, but also provides new avenues for investment and job creation, contributing to the country's economic growth. Also, with over 1 billion people, India has a vast customer base and a growing workforce, which presents immense potential for economic development. But how does India's economy compare to other economies now? When compared to other economies, India's rise to prominence is evident. According to Ridham Desai, Morgan Stanley's chief equality strategist for India, India is set to surpass Japan and Germany to become the world's third largest economy by 2027, and it will also have the third largest stock market by the end of this decade. This projection highlights the significant growth trajectory of India's economy, positioning it as a major player on the global stage. While Japan and Germany have long been considered economic powerhouses, India's rapid growth is expected to surpass them in the coming years. This one-in-a-generation shift in the global economic order presents unique opportunities for investors and companies alike. With its young and burgeoning population, a burgeoning middle class, and a favorable demographic dividend, India is emerging as a formidable player in the global economy. This upward trajectory further reinforces India's position as an attractive investment destination for global investors seeking new growth markets. With recent trade agreements aimed at integrating India's manufacturing sector with the global supply chain, foreign direct investment (FDI), equity flows from countries like Japan, Singapore, the United Kingdom, and the United Arab Emirates have been on the rise. This indicates growing confidence among global investors to invest in India. Moreover, India's inflows are becoming more diversified, showcasing the country's potential as an export hub and investment destination. One notable trend in India's investment landscape is the surge in mergers and acquisition deals. Contrary to global trends, India registered a record M&A deals in 2022, with major transactions observed in sectors like banking, cement, and aviation. Many conglomerates have ventured into new businesses, while traditional brick-and-mortar companies have partnered with technology firms, showcasing the country's adaptability and diversity in investment opportunities. India has also been attracting attention from global manufacturers looking to diversify their supply chains away from China. For instance, Apple contractors have made initial investments to assemble high-end iPhones in India, signaling a potential shift of manufacturing base from China to India. This presents a unique opportunity for investors to tap into India's manufacturing capabilities and become part of the growing global supply chain ecosystem. Another avenue for investment in India is the government's production-linked incentive schemes, introduced in early 2021. These schemes offer financial rewards for production and job creation in strategically important sectors. In addition to traditional investment options, India's stock market also presents an attractive avenue for investors. With a growing middle class, increasing consumer spending, and a robust financial ecosystem, India's stock market offers potential for a long-term capital appreciation. Now, as impressive as India's economic growth may be, it's not without its challenges and risks. One major hurdle is the persistent issue of inflation, which is expected to remain high despite potential peaking or tapering off in the near future. This can impact consumer spending and erode purchasing power, affecting overall economic growth. Another challenge is tightening the monetary policies by central banks of advanced economies, which could result in a global slowdown. This could have a domino effect on India's economy, leading to a reduced domestic investment and consumer demand as people become more cautious about spending and saving for uncertain times. Capital outflows and imbalances in the balance of payment accounts could also arise due to tighter liquidity conditions. The labor market is also a concern, with improvements yet to be seen. The return of the pandemic remains a wild card that could disrupt the services sector, which is crucial to India's GDP growth, as well as consumer demand. This underscores the need to continued effort to mitigate the impact of the pandemic and stabilize the labor market for sustained economic recovery. Also, India's startup sector, which saw a booming during the pandemic, is facing challenges. Many startups relied on cheap funding and a surge in online purchases from small customer base. However, profitability remains elusive for most of these startups, as purchases have slowed down and funding has become scarce, even for established players like edtech giant Baidu. Now, the challenges and risks in India's economy are not just limited to numbers and statistics, but they also have a direct impact on the lives of people. While India's economic success story may seem impressive on the surface, is it really benefiting the people, or is it just a myth? The reality is that the hype is obscuring an issue that has been a rising concern for the previous 75 years since the independence and endemic job creation. Also, despite the need for 200 million more jobs over the next decade, the economy has not created any net new employment in the last 10 years, while millions of job seekers enter the market each year. The pressure of this demographic challenge often reaches a breaking point, sparking unrest and sporadic acts of violence. Also, because there aren't many employment in the city, many employees have returned to farms during the pandemic and have stayed there. 45% of the workforce in India is currently employed in the agriculture sector, and farming households are nevertheless plagued by persistently significant underemployment. Generational subdivision of plots has resulted in small land holdings, and the epidemic of farmer suicides persists. Even for those seeking support from rural employment guarantee programs, the government often delays wage payments, leading to persistent protests. Now, You would agree that while India's economy may be touted as the fastest growing in the world, the benefits of this growth are not reaching the majority of the population. Will India continue to surge ahead and fulfill its potential, or will its mounting problems prevent it from reaching greater heights? Only time will tell. So, let's keep a close eye on this economy and see how it shapes up in the coming years. Thank you for joining us on this informative journey. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the likes and subscribe button to stay tuned for more exciting content. And as always, we appreciate your support.